What's going on, ghosties? Welcome back to Tales of Spooky Coffee House. If you're new here, welcome to our show. We are your hosts. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Veronica.
And before we get into our much needed coffee break, we have a special guest today. We talk about her quite often, Taylor.
Hey everyone.
Yay!
Hi.
You sounded so enthused. We swear she wants to be here, guys. We swear.
I thought that was enthusiasm for me.
Chelsea,
Okay,
we
that's
didn't pay
true.
her enough.
That's true. So, how are you guys both doing?
I'm good. I actually just saw Super Mario earlier today and it was amazing. It's nothing horror related, but 10 out of 10 if you love Mario.
LOL, it's okay. We talk about non-horror stuff too.
Yeah, like I was just actually playing Mario Kart last night. So, like,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so great. It's so nostalgic for like our generation and older, I guess, that like have grown up playing the games. It's amazing. You should go take the
That's
kids and see it, or don't take the kids and just go see it yourself.
that's so funny. I'm actually going to talk about Nintendo in a little bit because Mario is from Nintendo, but
Yikes.
it'll make sense later. So, Veronica, how are you?
Confused? How are you? I'm good. I tried my best to save half of my coffee from earlier for the podcast. I tried something new. I got the vanilla cream cold brew and it's fucking delicious. And I just finished eating my cake pop that I forgot in my purse. So I'm very happy. How are you, Chelsea?
I'm good. I have had a very busy week, but I'm also trying a new coffee creamer today.
Okay, do tell.
So remember how last time, I don't think it was last time, I think it was the time before, I told you I was trying the Pop-Tart coffee creamer and how it was really gross.
Mm-hmm.
So funny enough, I didn't have to drink it after all because John tried it and he fucking loved it, and I am so thankful I didn't have to drink that shit. So today I'm trying the Rice Krispie coffee creamer,
Huh, okay.
and it
Is it like
literally,
vanilla-y?
yeah, it's like vanilla-y, but you can also taste like the Rice Krispies. I'm very happy.
I'm happy for you.
That
I'm
sounds
horrified at
good.
how I said vanilla-y.
Like I feel like I'm drinking my dessert and it's really nice and satisfying.
Okay, keep it PG now.
Keep it PG. You're the one that asked to call me mommy earlier.
First of all, hold on. Let me quote this bitch's text
Wow.
real quick if she wants to do that. So I pretty much asked Chelsea like to, talk to her before we started recording because I'm a little anxious about stuff. And she said, one second, let me find it.
Yeah, see?
Oh, okay. So she said, we'll chat and relax you then.
Mm,
Relax you.
that
I
is some
said,
mommy vibes.
right? I said, oh yeah, with the eyes emoji. And I was like, sounds like a fun time. And I said, tee hee, because you don't say ha ha, you say tee hee when you're flirting. And then
Hmm.
I was like, can I call you mommy? And she said, I mean, if you got some issues to get over, then sure. So that's why, okay.
So I have an update for you.
Mm-hmm.
A couple episodes ago, we were talking about how Chicago has a serial killer that they're trying to hide.
Right.
And at the end, at all of the scenes, it leaves a smiley face. I just learned, I'm still looking into it, I don't have all the details yet, but there's a theory going around that that's actually a cult killing because
Ooh.
there's multiple of them going on in the US right now. So Chicago, Austin, Texas, Philadelphia, all kinds of different major cities, all with the
I
same
don't,
MO.
sorry, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but that's exciting. Like, no, but
I
like, do you understand?
Yes,
I totally
I
understand
totally
what you're
understand.
saying. My mom actually was when she was growing up in an area where like Charles Manson and his cult was at.
Mm.
And she said that she could see a fire from like up top of the hill and them dancing when
No.
she was like 5 years old. And
Ew.
she
Oh
took
my
me to the
god.
area because she lives near it now in Southern California. And she talks about like how frightening it was. And I'm just like, that's so cool. You were in the area as him.
Okay, so when we go to that haunted house, your mom has to take us there as like to get us in the mood or something, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, 100%. She'll show us.
That's so funny. But yeah, anyways, when I find out more, I'll definitely keep you updated. But I thought that theory was like super fucking exciting. like you said. And so I wanted to share it with you and give you something to look forward to. What?
Not that we look forward to people dying, people.
I sometimes forget how bad some of the things that we say are.
But that's why there's more than one of us. And today we have
Right.
3. So we'll have each other's backs. It's okay.
Speaking of having each other's backs, my grandma has come through again with some pretty cool stuff.
Okay, do tell.
So I got the unofficial Ultimate Harry Potter spellbook, the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, and I got
Ooh.
4 different decks of oracle cards.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have mermaids and dolphins, healing with the fairies, goddess guidance, and soul cards.
You know, some of us only get Christmas once a year, Chelsea, okay? But
Dude,
that sounds awesome.
do you know where she gets all her stuff?
Where?
Did I tell you?
I don't think so.
Scholastic sells like skids of fucking books like every couple months, and she literally goes and buys a couple because she fills those little libraries, like the little traveling libraries.
Mm-mm.
She fills up all of the ones in Monrovia.
Oh, that's
that's
dope.
cute. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the skids are like $20, but she sends me and the girls all kinds of stuff. Like we just got a Star Wars cookbook. Like that's exciting. She bought trying to get them all the Goosebumps books.
My mom for Christmas this year, I told her I just wanted cookbooks, and she got me one called the Necronomicon of the Evil Dead book, and it's amazing, and I love it just because of the name. But when you open it up and you look at the recipes, it looks like spiritual or like rituals and stuff like that. It's amazing.
That's super funny.
Dude, speaking of Pedro Pascal, did you guys
Ugh.
see that Lizzo and Jack Black were in an episode of The Mandalorian?
Were they really?
Yeah.
So funny story, I haven't even gotten through the first season of Mandalorian, and we're probably not gonna be friends after I say this.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I've given it 2
Same.
times to watch it, and I fall asleep every time.
Same. I could not watch it in the beginning. Like, it took me to have a crush on Pedro to start watching it, to be honest. Because I tried watching Mandalorian 2 or 3 times just because, like, everyone was making a big fuss over Grogu.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna give it a try. But I can't. I couldn't get
Same.
into it.
I
But
watched
because
it
of
for
Pedro, then there you go.
So you guys definitely don't make me feel bad about not having watched a single second of it because now I know I'm not missing anything.
I mean, you get attached to like Grogu for sure. Like my friend Lisha, we literally call each other every Wednesday to watch it together, and she literally does not remember shit from the first 2 seasons. I could ask her questions about the last episode and she wouldn't know. She literally just watches it for Grogu. Like she'll enjoy it, the episode, you know, because I'm pretty sure because we're like talking about it. But I'm just saying, the kid is worth it. He's cute.
Grogu is cute, but I've never been a Star Wars fan, so it's really hard for me to even watch the show because of it.
I wasn't either.
Yeah, but that's because now you just love Pedro and all that Pedro does. That's why you're okay to watch it.
Yeah. See, I stopped watching them after like the newer movies came out because I wasn't a big fan. I like the originals better.
Yeah, I've only watched all of them one time, and that's it. And it took a lot for me to watch them all because I was not interested.
See what a great conversation Pedro could start.
Oh my gosh.
See, I feel like we're bonding.
I thought we were already bonded, but okay.
I mean, I figure with all the years that we've known each other, we had a bond already, but I guess we never did until now about Pedro. It's fine. The past 10 plus years have been a lie. It's fine.
This is fine. This is totally fine. So I have some fun facts for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like, they're fun facts, but they're also like, what the fuck, like make you think about them. So I'll kind of like skip through my list and I'll start with the reason I brought this up before. But when Jack the Ripper was killing, it was the same year that Nintendo was founded.
I heard about that one recently.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that a trip?
I didn't know that.
It's because Nintendo started as a card game as Pokemon, and that was founded in like 1889, which is the same year that Jack the Ripper was killing.
I didn't even know that Nintendo went all the way that far back.
I didn't either.
That's crazy.
Did you know that woolly mammoths existed at the same time that the Egyptians were building the pyramids?
I feel like I cheated because I already saw this TikTok.
That's not fair that she got to like see parts of it first, because now I'm just like mind blown over
No,
here.
she doesn't know. She doesn't know that I saw this TikTok. That's the
Oh.
thing.
I
I'll
got
pretend.
the
I'll pretend.
No, the TikTok is where I got the idea for the rest of them.
Ah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the Egyptians and was it the mammoths you were just talking about were around the same time.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's weird to picture.
Did you know that Rosa Parks died after Shrek 1 and 2 were released?
What?
What?
Yeah. Like, can you just imagine? Like, Rosa Parks probably watched Shrek
Ew.
with her. Yeah. Isn't that trippy? See, bitch, I told you didn't hear them all.
I don't think Rosa Parks would have watched Shrek, but okay.
Why?
I mean,
Why do
she
you
had,
say
like,
that?
great
I don't
grandkids.
know, because
dude.
like when I think of Rosa Parks, I think of such a serious like topic. So because it's like I see her as a serious person, like I can't see her like watching Shrek.
I feel like she would have, like, her great grandkids or whoever were like, "Hey,
Exactly.
I want to go see Shrek," and she's like,
Exactly.
"Okay, let's go." And then she probably loved it because the first one's amazing.
Never watched it, sorry.
What?
I'm not into that type of comedy. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Comedy movies in general are really hard for me to watch.
Going back to ones that you probably heard, did you know that France beheaded somebody at the same time as that Star Wars came out?
I did not, but what did the person do?
I have no idea, but beheading
Oh.
in France was not abolished until the 80s. Like the 1980s.
Wow.
Bro, imagine we still had that.
Yeah, especially right now with the fucking riots and shit going on. Did you hear about that?
About the
Here in the
riots?
States?
I haven't heard about riots going on right now.
Yeah, dude, France is in a revolution right now.
Oh
They're
yeah,
fucking,
I've seen videos.
they're trying to
of
tear
it.
they're trying to tear down the government again for the 5th fucking time in the last century.
Oh wow. I have not heard anything about it.
Yeah, probably because America doesn't want us to do the same.
Literally, I saw a TikTok the other day.
Taking notes and getting ideas
Exactly.
on what to do better or the same for them to equal for us.
Veronica, what were you gonna say?
The other day, I saw a TikTok of, all of that rioting going on in France, and there's literally like big old like flames in the streets and stuff, and people going crazy. And yet, there's this one cafe with seating outside with people just sitting there drinking their fucking coffee, like nothing is happening behind them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love how normal that is for them.
Yeah, the fucking French are wild, dude. Like they're fucking insane. In a good way. In a good way. Like I would totally fit in with the French. I would love it there.
That's
Anyways,
always been a spot to go to. Bucket list spot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank were born in the same year?
I did hear about that one.
What about Queen Elizabeth and Marilyn Monroe?
Oh yeah,
False.
that one
I didn't know
heard.
about that one.
I only know that one because I watched the movie.
Leave it to movie and TikTok to teach us more about history than our history classes.
Dude, I've learned so much more on TikTok than I have in school, I swear.
No, seriously though. I've learned so many life skills from fucking TikTok. It's ridiculous.
Well, I've learned so much through TikTok and that because in high school, I hardly paid attention because of having like you guys in classes, especially Chelsea.
Oh my god,
biology
biology? Yeah. Biology was lit.
Ew.
What was his fucking name? What was the teacher's name?
Stewart. It was Mr.
Yeah,
Stewart.
Mr. Stewart had no idea that our entire fucking row was just like having a quiet party.
I could see it.
I just remember Chelsea giving me this spell so that way I could pass my test because we never paid attention because I was either talking with her or other people or she was writing her story and I was reading it.
Yeah, like I would be writing my story and just like passing the paper over to Taylor and she would just be like and Mr. Stewart was just so oblivious talking about biology and we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Talking about biology.
The nerve of him.
I know. Did you pass your test? I don't think I ever asked you that.
I don't think I did because I still had to take summer school that year, but you also left me halfway through
That's
and
true,
then I
yeah.
really didn't pay attention. As soon as you left, I moved further away from him and don't remember anything from that class.
Shit, you probably would have remembered more if I had stayed.
Probably.
Okay, last one. Cleopatra was born closer to the invention of the iPhone than the building of the pyramids.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
That was like during her time, wasn't it? Pyramids and
You
shit.
would think. You would think, but no, it wasn't. She's not over 5,000 years old, which is what the pyramids are. And actually, there's a theory that the pyramids are actually closer to 20,000 years old,
Oh wow.
and that like all we see are the tips, that the rest of them are still under the sand.
Oh, I saw
That was
that.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's another bucket list is going to see the pyramids and that.
Yes. Oh my God, I would love to go to Egypt. I actually, for one of my classes, I had to develop like a travel plan to a different
Uh-huh.
country, and I picked Egypt.
I probably would have
So,
done this exact same thing.
so not gonna lie, if you guys ever want to go on a trip there, I literally got everything planned down to how much the fucking hotel
She
costs.
pulls
It
out
might
her old
be,
homework.
it might be a little bit older, but at tack
Bet
on
I'm
like
down.
$100. Yeah.
All right, so I have some questions for all of us.
Uh-oh.
I
Oh,
tried
no.
not to answer them. No, they're fun.
You tried
I
not to
tried-
answer them.
I didn't. I tried not to answer them as I was, typing them because I wanted to answer them with you guys. And they're fun
Okay.
questions. So, ghosties, feel free. Feel free. Question number 1. Which word would you use if you could only use it? Sorry.
Try again.
Which word would you use if you could only use one for the rest of your life?
Fuck.
Bitch.
See, this is hard. Probably woo.
Woo?
Is
That's a sound. That's not a word. That's a sound.
Woo is the word. WOO. It's on Scrabble.
It's like wee woo, wee woo.
Not Veronica
Also,
sounding like
fun
half.
fact about Chelsea's one word, fuck. So at work, I have a coworker that does not want to say, that word out in front of the guests, which you're not supposed to. You'll get fired where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying fuck, he'll say fish. And he's like, fish. What the fish?
Fish.
Fun fact, fuck was my second daughter's first word.
It makes sense.
I'm not surprised.
It makes sense.
Luckily, she stopped saying it. But now my oldest one, she'll go around, what the fudge? What the fudge? And she'll use it right. And I'm like, thank you for not saying fuck. She goes, I don't want a spanking.
She's smart.
Yes, she is.
All right. So, what are 3 scents you like?
So we talked about before how I don't fucking like taste of hazelnut, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I really love hazelnut cream. Hazelnut cream, like the candle. Oh my God. It smells so good. And then cinnamon apple pie and pumpkin candles.
I enjoy any scent that has pumpkin with it. Bath and Body Works time. I just go and I collect the whole collection.
Oh God, yes. I fucking love them at Halloween.
And then anything kind of like fruity or like berries or pancakes, stuff like that. I try to find the fruitier, sweeter stuff for candles and everything. I'm not a big, I guess the smells for out like woodsy smells, I don't really care for those.
Yeah,
So
I
anything
don't
that's
really
more
either.
fruity.
I like cinnamon. I like my eucalyptus one, and I like the smell of like, is it like lime or lemon? Like citrusy scent.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I love citrusy scents. Okay, so those are my 3 scents. What is the weirdest thing you have ever eaten? Which is fun because Taylor here is a chef, so I'd love to hear what she has to say.
I've actually had snails.
Ew.
So at one of the restaurants at Magic Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
they sell escargot, and a friend of mine came to visit a few years back. I took her there for dinner because it's really pretty and it looks just like you're in Beast Castle and whatnot. And she ordered them and she was like, you need to eat one. And I was hesitant at first, but I ate it and it actually wasn't bad. And that's coming from a person who is still picky even when I cook for a living. So snails is probably the weirdest I've ever eaten.
I'll take it. Chelsea?
So the weirdest thing that I've probably ever tried, I was in not middle school. God no, I was not. I was in elementary school. It was like probably first grade. A bunch of us ate red ants.
You know, maybe that's why you are the way you are, dude.
They're spicy.
Do you remember if they were good or not? Was it like
They
a
were spicy.
recommendation?
Yeah, they were
Okay.
they were like spicy. It was almost like taking. It was almost like taking a spice mix, like a spicy mix, and just like eating it. I know, it's fucking weird. That's my weirdest thing I've ever eaten.
I'm just picturing Chelsea, instead of using tajin for her michelada, just fucking rubbing red ants all over the tip.
Hey, no,
Blending
you
it
gotta
up for the rim of it and everything.
You gotta
Yeah.
do one. It's not ants plural. I don't only do one, or they're gonna fucking bite your mouth. Only one.
Yeah, get it right, Veronica. Only one.
Yeah, only
Okay.
one.
The weirdest thing I've ever ate. Jesus Christ. The things you admit on this podcast. I would probably say a fried clam. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
I don't blame you. Clams are nasty.
I don't
Yeah,
like any seafood, so.
Girl, stop. My next question. What is the most absurd thing you've been tricked into doing or believing?
That my ex wasn't cheating on me.
Oh,
Damn.
No, I'm kidding.
We're getting real now.
oh no, she needs this. She needs it. You need to go vent, girl. Vent.
Go to your room. Dude, my daughter is just like, are you talking about my dad?
Ew, what the fuck was that? The fuck was that? Taylor, honestly, if you want my spot on this podcast, please.
I have to be really high for it, so I probably could.
Who was talking? Was it Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, your ex, right? Okay.
Yeah, and I was joking, and then I was like, what was I gonna actually say though? Shit.
Your ex.
No, that was just a joke.
Well, while you're thinking, mine would be that you get pulled over if you have like the light on in the car.
Dude, tell me
Like,
that's what I was gonna fucking say.
Really? Because you know what? If it weren't for TikTok, I wouldn't have known how common that was. Like,
Yeah.
You don't
like,
get
why
pulled
is
over
a
for that?
thing? No.
yeah, like you can get a ticket. Like, it's illegal to have the light on. Till this day, I hate having it on while I drive. I think I
Yeah.
yelled at like Stephanie or something during a road trip. Like, can you turn that shit off? You want me to get pulled over or what?
Yeah, like I don't know why everybody thought that was an actual thing, but it's not.
Growing up, my brother always told me absurd stuff because he's a lot older and always tried to trick me. And I remember growing up, he used to tell me in the car that the little cigarette lighter or whatever it is, he said if you press that button, it would make the car fly, so you can't press it or we're gonna go up in the air. And I believed that
I mean,
forever.
technically, if you leave it pushed down, your car
But he
might
meant like
still fly.
he meant
in
like
the air.
flying
No,
like
yeah.
in the air like chitty chitty bang bang style and that.
You should have. I'm sure. You know what? I feel like Chelsea would be the one to say, "Fuck it, let's see. See if it works."
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I know. I know you.
I was like, I probably would have done that. But also at the
Alright.
same time, I
Mhm.
pressed it in once because I didn't know what it was and nobody was in the car with me.
Oh
So when
my
it popped out, my mom came running. Like it didn't just like pop out, like it flew out of the car.
You should be glad it didn't land on you. That shit would have burned you.
Speaking of, actually, probably since you said the original thing that I was gonna say, for the longest time, I totally believed that ashtrays in the car were meant for coins.
Oh, I still used mine for a coin holder, even though I
Right.
knew it was an ashtray.
I never
Yeah.
knew that it was an actual ashtray until somebody started using it, and I'm like, my coins go there. What are you doing? And they're like, it's an ashtray, and I'm like, I was like in middle
I
school.
feel
I was
like
fucking
we're
mind blown.
screaming our age right now.
I
Fucking.
I use mine for coins, and then I have a little Jason bobblehead that sits right there, and him and I just drive around together.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
All right, next question. Where would you relocate if you were forced to leave the country?
Ireland.
Mm.
Oh nice.
So I can be drunk with all of my people there.
Hell
Since
yeah.
I'm half Irish, not Ireland, half Irish.
You're half of Ireland, bro.
Probably either, I want to say Iceland, or I was going to say Italy, but I think I'm thinking France. I think I would go to France instead.
I can see you be one of the people that are just sitting there drinking their coffee while
Nah,
everything
that's why
around
she's
them's
lighting
burning
shit on
around them.
fire. I feel like she turned the fire on in the street, this big old fucking shit, and then go have her coffee so she could
Yeah.
be warm.
Like smile while I'm watching it all unfold. No, but in all
Um,
seriousness, not trying to start riots or anything, but protesting. Did you guys hear about April 18th being like National Protest Day, where you're supposed to go to your state's capital and protest?
No.
It's been scrolling around the internet. I've seen it on TikTok, on Instagram,
Wait,
on Facebook.
that's a far drive.
Yeah, mine is too.
That's at least a 4-hour drive. I think. I don't even know how to even get to the where it's even at or anything.
What about you, Veronica? Are you gonna go?
no, what the fuck? gotta
Veronica's
work.
like, my anxiety would be so bad.
Bitch, I know. I could barely go to fucking the store down the street. You think I'm gonna go to a protest? Got me fucked up. Anyways,
But
I would go to I would love to hit up like London or Scotland. Just take a boat
Yeah.
over to Taylor's, to Ireland.
Yeah.
Or don't laugh because you're racist if you do, but Mexico. Racist. I knew it. Fucking knew it. My next question. I'm not even gonna give it attention. Which of the two smells better? Fresh cut grass or bread baking in the oven?
Bread baking in the oven.
bread.
Bro,
I
but
like
let me
bread.
tell you, it might be a Mexican thing, but that smell of fresh cut grass is like I do love bread baking in the oven though, because that just smells good. But the grass,
I really love the smell of wet cement, like after a rainfall, not like city water or anything. Like it has to be rainfall.
Any comments to
Okay.
that?
I don't think I've ever paid attention to the smell after rainfall.
The only reason I have is because I used to go swimming in Nana's pool, and there was one day where it was raining, and I was like, "Fuck it, I want to swim." And so I was getting out of the pool, and like I was like out of the deep end, so I was on the side, and my face was close enough where I could smell it, and it just smells really good.
Well, out here in Florida, it rains a lot, especially during hurricane season, which is 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So it rains almost every day. So I think I've just gotten used to the smell.
Probably.
All right, 2 more questions. What is one ability that you believe everybody should possess?
To have common sense.
Dude, that was my answer.
I like-
I should have said it first.
That's a good one, Chelsea.
Oh, I should have said it
That's
first.
okay, because you took my other answer in the other question, so we're even now.
Okay.
I feel like with working in the service industry, I think people need the ability to like be more patient and kind
Ooh,
Yeah.
to
patience.
many people. Yeah, because they just go all crazy and get upset over something that's not in our control.
Yeah.
So
Like I just got into an argument with somebody about how they got stopped by the Walmart employee, and they're like, "Oh, let me check your receipt," because they went through self checkout, and they wanted to go off on them because like he was like, "Well, if you have the time to sit here and do this, then you should have the fucking time to go to a cash register and check me out instead of wasting time." And I was like, "Why would you yell at them? That's not their fucking fault." And they're like, "Yeah, it is. They scheduled them that way." And I'm
It's
like,
just-
"No, they're only given so many hours, and they have to separate it between stocking and cleaning and checking people out and all kinds of other stuff." And they were like, "Well, that's their fucking problem, but they should be doing it right." And I'm like, "They literally fucking can't."
Yeah.
And I was like, "If you ever go off on somebody in front of me, I will go off on you in front of everybody."
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I hear something being said, I'm ready to go and attack.
Yeah, because
And
like
defend.
I've worked retail. I know how that shit goes.
Yeah.
I've seen managers get really upset because they can't schedule people correctly or get stuff done because they don't have enough hours, and yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should kind of work retail for at least once in their life so they could just kind of get a taste of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
Um,
understand better.
Yeah. So my last question, if you were given the chance to steal something, what would it be?
$1 million.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
While you're thinking, I had this really bad impulsive thought a couple of years ago where I legit was like, I really want to steal that cop car because the fucking cop left his door open, the
Oh
car
my
running, and he
god.
was like
Chelsea.
50 feet from his fucking
Chelsea.
car. And I'm like, dude, I could just hop into your car and just take off right now.
Okay,
That
you know what?
sounds like some Grand Theft Auto shit right there.
But see, it
You
was an
know,
impulsive thought that I did not act on, obviously, because I'm not in fucking jail. But yeah.
besties, I have an idea for season 3. So in season 3, we're gonna add another segment that's gonna be called Chelsea's Confessions. And so she'll just have the opportunity to confess stuff.
I feel like I'm in church. I don't like it here.
I feel like if I had to steal something, it would be like a giant diamond or a bunch of jewelry. So that way I could pawn it and sell it and then get all the money.
Yeah, so like steal $1 million worth of diamonds.
Exactly.
For me, I would steal. Can I say Pedro?
That's not surprising at all.
That's a kidnapping, but
Is
Okay, cool. Go
it
take
kidnapping
That's
just
all.
stealing though?
Exactly. So Taylor, we recently, well, not recently, but yeah, we have recently had Z on the show, but we had her last season where she was telling us about her experience that you were actually a part of, something that happened in our hometown at Grant Park. And I would like to hear your side if you don't mind.
okay. So prior to that story, I used to go a couple of times out of the week to our friend's house who had the board, and I would get dropped off there, and then we would walk all the way up to Grand Park, which is near my house, and we would use the Ouija board. The first time I did it, we went in like through like a fence gate, and it was a bunch of like people went in there to do like motocross or biking and that. So it was during the daytime we played, and we started hearing weird shit. So we said goodbye and we left. And so that already gave me the creeps because I could feel like presence and like spirits and that around. That was my first time doing it. So then when Ziannabelle heard that we were doing this, she wanted to go. So this was a bigger group that went. It was our friend, her 2 sisters, our other friend at the time, and Ziannabelle and I. And I remember we went down below where like you could park the car or your bike, and then you have to walk all the way up through the park. And we were sitting in the cement area playing, and we were asking it like, oh, what are the initials of who we're gonna marry and stuff like that from back in the day. And then Sanibel and I started hearing stuff again in like the bushes, and we started freaking out. And so we said goodbye to it. And then we're walking away and we continue to hear stuff. And I just remember her and I looked up the giant hill and we saw this black figure. And I said, Z, do you see what I'm seeing right now? And she said, absolutely. And then as soon as she said that, the figure vanished and we heard something running towards us.
Oh hell no.
And as soon as that happened, Ziannabelle and I just booked it and we said, fuck you to everyone else there.
Mhm.
And we just ran back to my house and they all just stayed there and like eventually got there and everything. But I was part of the fight or flight with Ziannabelle. I ran with her. I was like, I'm not doing this.
So
And
in a
every
scary
time,
movie,
yeah,
Annabelle and Taylor are going to be running away, and Veronica and I
yes,
are going to be running toward.
correct.
I don't know, Chelsea. You seem like you'd get scared.
I get to the point where I'm like, okay, let's go venture. And then that stuff like that happens and I'm like, nope, psych, I don't want it. And I go away.
Well, yeah, you get what you asked for. I've been
Yeah.
asking for it, but I don't know. I'm doing something wrong.
Well,
You're too desperate.
ever since
Ew,
then, I get
but...
nervous for stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then lately, when I've been going to like, doing ghost tours and stuff like that, I'm so anxious. I'm like, I want to feel the ghosts. I want to see the ghosts. And I never get to see them. And I think it's because I'm too excited to see them, and they don't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's what I was saying with Veronica too. Like you want it too much that you're overexcited and it cancels out the energy.
Yeah, so I'm just like, well, I went to all these haunted hotels, all this stuff, and I get to see nothing because I'm excited for it. And then I try to act like, oh, just kidding, I'm not excited. But then inside, I'm really so excited.
See, I'm kind of like the opposite of you guys, where like I'm used to seeing things because of when I was little, but that's also my problem too, is I get over anxious because of the whole one of the ghosts popped up as a fucking clown thing. And so I'm always like super nervous that something like that's gonna happen again because I'm terrified of fucking clowns now. And so I get overly anxious, which also cancels out the energy.
And then after that incident, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, freaked out by it. So I stopped using the Ouija board. But even after, if I went up to that park, I still felt this like the heebie jeebies. And I remember just seeing like really weird and random stuff like by the giant tree there. I remember one time I went with the other friends, I think Z was there too, and we found like this like a rabbit next to this bloody diaper and stuff. And we're like, what
What
the
the
hell is
What
this?
the
fuck?
fuck?
Yeah. So I saw that and I said, nope, nope, I'm never coming back to this park. And then I just left again.
Not
Yeah,
gonna
I feel
lie,
like
that would have been it for me too, because that's a little bit.
Yeah.
Grant
So
Park is the nice part of town, yet it's so sketch.
it is in
Right.
the nice part of town. I used to love going up there all the time, but then after those two incidences, I was like, no, I'm fine. And even if I went to like show like people when I go visit where I used to live and take them up there, I don't go in the park. I said, this is a park right down there. Here it is. I'm not going. I just show them.
Love it. Well, thank you for sharing your side and adding the bloody diaper and fucking rabbit to it.
Yeah. Bloody diaper and a
Um,
rabbit.
so Ghosties, it is a special show because we have a special guest. That being said, there's gonna be a total of 4 segments. Segment 1 is gonna be the usual true crime topic, but instead of Chelsea and I doing it, Taylor's gonna do it. So Taylor, would you mind starting us off with the true crime topic of the week?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the month for my birthday, some friends and I, we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I've always wanted to go. I said, I want to drink all the moonshine and see all the things that are haunted. So the night of my birthday on the 1st, we did the Gatlinburg ghost tour and it was really cool. And the lady who did it was amazing with the stories and all that. And the one that kept to me is a true crime called about the Rocky Top Village Inn, and there's actually A&E documentaries about this. If you just look up Rocky Top Village Inn, it'll pop up. So the inn was opened in 1979 by, I'm going to mess up these names just like you guys usually do, Phyllis and Baudelaire Bryant. They actually used to create music together, the couple, and the Tennessee song, the state song, is one of their songs called Rocky Top. So they owned it in 1979, and in 1986 was when Dollywood opened up, which is about 10 minutes or so from Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. So that's what brought all the tourists into the area. And they actually got a lot more people because at this time, there was only 1,500 people in the little town. That same year, there was 2 prison cellmates, and one of them's name is Tattoo Eddie, and the other's name is Joe DeMonica, and they traveled to town with their 2 girlfriends to stay at the hotel overnight because they were trying to see what they could steal from the town throughout their visit there. So Tattoo Eddie and Joe had their girlfriend book the hotel, and once they got the keys in that, the 2 of them snuck into the room. So during their stay at the inn, they lured the front desk clerk, Missy Suttles Hill, to their room, claiming there was an issue there, and they would end up stabbing her multiple times before shooting her in the head.
Oh shit.
Missy's husband could not get a hold of her on the phone, and so he called the security guard, Troy Dale Valentine. Troy went to check in on Missy, only to discover what happened to her, and he was met with the same fate. So after they killed both of the people, they decided to flee the scene and leave the state. Now, one of the girlfriends, Ashley Silvers, she left a note in a phone booth near like the border of Tennessee and the Carolinas, I believe, saying that Tattoo Eddie made her kill the 2 people. So that's how they eventually got caught, was because she finally left a note and she just felt guilty. So the 4 of them were caught and sentenced to life in prison. Now, this is what is very upsetting for people that are born and raised in Gatlinburg. Of course, the whole thing, but not only that, when Tattoo Eddie and Joe passed away in prison, they decided to release the girlfriends because the policemen and all of them believed that the 2 men were the ones that were in charge of this whole thing. However, the locals of Gatlinburg have always felt that it was the girlfriends, especially Ashley Silvers, who wrote the letter and got them all arrested. So now the 2 girls are still wandering around the streets. They're still there. I believe they're both still alive because when she was telling us the story, she was really passionate about it, which made me even not love the story, but just how passionate she was about it, just to believe that all this was true. And then I looked it up and saw more details about it. And it was haunted, of course, by Missy. And it is now demolished, but past guests have claimed that they would hear a lady screaming for help throughout all hours of the night. And there's even claims that people have taken pictures in the parking lot there and have even seen like her orb or her figure just roaming around the parking lot.
That's crazy.
Yes. So that is my true crime topic.
Yes.
I love how enthused you were, because like you were talking about how the lady was enthused, but you were so enthused that it was like I got lost in your storytelling.
The whole ghost tour itself there was amazing. I didn't realize, of course, like how much really happened there. It's a really small town, and they have this really old cemetery there too that they like you end up at. And it was great because earlier that night we went to this restaurant, a nice restaurant called the Greenbrier Restaurant. And when we finished there at the tour, the lady goes, "Have you guys ever been to the Greenbrier?" And we're like, "We were just there for dinner." And she goes, "Yeah, it's really haunted." And I was like, "What?" I had no idea. I was really upset that I didn't know. And then she told us the story of that one as well. And it's the whole town is amazing. If you ever get a chance, I definitely recommend going to check it out.
We'll definitely have to.
With that being said, Chelsea, are you ready for your segment?
Yeah. So I'm kind of starting to break into the conspiracy, unsolved mysteries type thing. And so we're going to talk about the Lost Colony of Roanoke.
Roanoke.
Yeah, that.
Like,
no, it's Roanoke, but I'm just making fun of
like,
Roanoke.
like American Horror Story Roanoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually really excited now that you haven't actually heard about it, because I felt like that's like something that most Americans know about, because that is literally America's first unsolved mystery.
Who are you talking to, me or Taylor? You hear what
Taylor.
she said? Most Americans? She's being racist again.
Oh my gosh.
How am I being racist?
Whatever, dude.
Why you gotta be like that, Veronica?
Yeah, why do I gotta be Mexican for? Man,
That's not what I
You're
said.
still American.
I don't know. You're over here throwing shade at me.
I wasn't
You're throwing
shade
shit
at
at
you.
yourself.
Well, maybe I need attention, okay? It's been more than 5 minutes since I've gotten attention.
That's so
Anyway.
accurate for you.
Anyways. So the colony of Roanoke was a small colony that was founded in 1587, and the settlement would have been the first permanent English colony in the New World if the settlers hadn't disappeared. So it is literally considered the most notorious mystery in American history, because nobody knows what happened to over 100 people that just vanished overnight. So the settlement's mayor, John White, he helped to settle the colony, and there was a bunch of issues where they didn't have enough supplies, and so he England to request resources and manpower, and he ended up showing there in the middle of a war. So he stayed there for 3 years before returning to the settlement, and that's when he found that everybody was gone, including his wife, his child, and his grandchild. So
Dude, that's wild. Imagine pulling up to your fucking hood and everyone's like gone.
yeah, like, and that's like the crazy part too, is that there was no blood. Everything was left behind. Not a single thing was taken. Like, it was just like everybody just disappeared.
Dude, I can't wait to talk about those hikers that went that one snowy mountain. The scientists.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about them too.
Oh, it's gonna be a special episode because that one is
It's wild.
bizarre.
Yeah.
The hikers?
Yeah.
Let's see, I don't know about that one.
Oh, you're
So
gonna
I'm
love
gonna be excited to
Can-
stay tuned for that one.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna say this right. The Dyatlov Pass incident? Death Mountain? Okay, anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm excited to hear about it.
So, besides everything being left behind and there being no evidence of violence or anything, the only thing that they found was the word Croatoan that was carved into one of the trees along the colony's borders. There was also in another tree, which I didn't know about, was the letters CRO. So, Croatoan, those are the first three letters, but it was also being written somewhere else. And so, one of the theories is that they were writing something else and not just Croatoan, but nobody knows for sure. There weren't very many clues besides that, and so nobody was able to find the missing colonists. And when a major storm hit, they were forced to return back to England without finding anybody. One of the things that the returning people had looked for was that they believed that Croatoan was telling them where they went to, which was Croatoan Island, and it's now known as Hatteras Island if you go near that area. But they believed that the colonists moved there, and that the Native American tribe took in the colonists because of their lack of resources. Because remember, that's why the mayor initially went back to England, was to get those resources, but they never found them there. This was also the time where the storm hit, so they never fully checked into it to see if that's what actually happened. And so some modern researchers are actually using DNA tests to see if they can find evidence of English ancestry, to see if the English actually merged with the Native American tribe that was there. They haven't like finished that whole study because that just started in like 2007. But if they continue with that, that might actually tell us what happened. And if not, then it's still a mystery. Other theories are that the settlers tried to sail back to England on their own and got lost at sea. There was another that they met a bloody ending by the hands of Spaniards who had marched up from Florida. And then the last theory is that a different Native American tribe just killed them somewhere else.
Oh my goodness.
But the truth about what actually happened will continue to remain a mystery. It's because it's one of America's biggest like unsolved mysteries. It's featured in a lot of pop culture. So like you said, American Horror Story, they did an episode on it. Supernatural did a story on it too. Stephen King's Storm of the Century, that was based on like what happened. Like that's what happened was the movie is what happened and it was happening again. There was also a book called The Last American Vampire where they told a story about how the colonists were victims of a vampire named Crowley, which is where the inscription CRO came from, because what he said was the attempt to implicate the vampire, which seems kind of funny that a vampire ended the whole colony.
I like that because I mean I love American Horror Story, but honestly the only thing I remember from that season is Lady Gaga because I was like her first season, and that's legit all I remember.
That's funny. I was so excited when Lady Gaga was in that season.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but it was cool that she was in it still too.
But yeah, that is the different things about the Lost Colony of Roanoke. What do you guys think happened? Like based on those conspiracy theories, what do you think?
I think it's actually pretty interesting how they just like vanished and didn't really leave it, like they left stuff behind. So I do feel like with the Native Americans, they probably went with them and followed them or whatever until maybe another tribe, like you were saying, found them, took them hostage because they were with, who they were fighting with, and just killed them all.
What's interesting though is the fact that if that was true, like the Native Americans didn't take any of their stuff, like at all.
No, they probably were like, no, we don't want to take their stuff. We just want to take them.
That's true. Maybe they thought they were like bad mojo or something.
Yeah, they didn't get good vibes.
I agree with Taylor. I don't think they took off on their own though. Like I don't know. I don't know.
It's just crazy because like it's over 100 people, and that's kind of the same thing with what happened with like we were talking about in another episode, the Malaysian flight that went missing. Because like they have like a general idea, and now they found like a few pieces of the plane, but they still have not found out what happened to them. There are so many instances in history where we just like lose people. Like they just fall off the face of the earth.
Like even with the Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that too, yeah.
But yeah, so that's my conspiracy theory. I mean, it's a conspiracy theory just because they don't know what happened, but
I like it though.
Yeah, like I want to start getting into a lot of conspiracy theories too, even if they're not true. Like I guess like the Bermuda Triangle got debunked like in the 90s, I think. But like it's still interesting to talk about.
Yeah, I'm all for the conspiracy theories.
But Veronica, you want to get us started on the paranormal topic of the week?
I do, but just before I start doing that, I realize we haven't been doing this like ever. Ghosties, if you're listening to us on any streaming websites, please give us a follow. That'd be great. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe and comment down below. And moving on.
Dude, the randomness of that.
It's random, but it's like we've never done it. Well, we do it at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
but so you know what? I don't know. Paranormal topic of the week. I mentioned the little bastard. I believe it was last week and the week prior. No, the week before. Anyways,
Sometime.
sometime. So I'm gonna be talking about the little bastard. I'm actually gonna be reading an article. So this is not my work. This is not my not investigation. What is it? Research. You can find this on Haggerty.com, and the title of the article is The Haunting Story of James Dean's Little Bastard, and this was written by Nick Berg. So, James Dean's career as an actor and racer was cut tragically short on September 30th, 1955, when his little bastard, or also known as Porsche, is it Porsche or Porsche? What do you guys?
Porsche.
Okay, so the Porsche 550 Spider was involved in a catastrophic collision on the way to a race meeting. Dean was killed instantly, but Little Bastard would go on to cause considerably more trouble. In fact, Little Bastard had caused upset almost from the moment Dean bought it. A week before the fatal crash, Dean met British actor Alec Guinness in Los Angeles. Guinness had an ominous feeling on seeing the Porsche and would later write in his diary, "The sports car looked sinister to me. Exhausted, hungry, feeling a little ill-tempered in spite of Dean's kindness. I heard myself saying in a voice I could hardly recognize as my own, 'Please never get in it. If you get in the car, you will be found dead in it by this time next week.'"
Oh shit.
Damn.
Dean laughed it off, and they actually at the Haunted Museum in Vegas, they actually showed an interview with this guy. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I really want to go there too.
Oh,
I'm really jealous that you've gone there a few times. I really want to go.
I've been there once or twice.
Or 3 times.
Just get like an annual pass for it or something at this point.
Exactly. Imagine I would. So Dean laughed it off and set about preparing the car for the Salinas sports car races with his Porsche mechanic Rolf Wuthrick, enlisting stuntman Bill Hickman to help out. The original plan was to tow Little Bastard to the races, but Wuthrick felt it would be better for Dean to get used to the Spider and run the engine in. On that fateful Friday, Wuthrick sat next to Dean while Hickman followed with his truck and trailer. Police pulled over the convoy and issued a pair of speeding tickets just outside Bakersfield. It didn't slow Dean down one bit. Dean was barreling down Route 466 at an estimated 85 miles per hour when a young Cal Poly student named Donald Turnipseed, driving a Ford Tudor, decided to make a sudden turn on the Route 41. The impact sent the Ford almost 40 feet down the road and ejected Wuthrick from the Porsche. Dean was pronounced dead on arrival at the Paso Robles War Memorial Hospital at 6:20. Despite being declared a total loss by the insurance company, the car was sold on and would continue to cause carnage wherever or even the parts of it went. I don't know if you guys ever looked at pictures or really read into this whole James Dean accident. This isn't in the article, by the way, but when police showed up to the scene, James Dean's face was unrecognizable. That's how bad the crash was.
Ooh.
Like his
Wow.
body was pretty much wrapped around the steering wheel. That's how bad it was.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's part either.
It's pretty eerie. It's pretty eerie. So, Dr. William Eskridge bought the Porsche from a salvage yard in Burbank and proceeded to strip it for parts. Eskridge installed the Porsche's engine into his Lotus IX race car, then loaned the transmission and suspension parts to fellow doctor and racer Troy McHenry. Eskridge crashed the Lotus at the 1956 Pomona sports car races, surviving, but McHenry wasn't as lucky. He hit a tree and was killed in the same race, and so the curse of Little Bastard gained strength. Dean's Porsche itself carried on. Shortly after the crash, publicity monger and self-proclaimed king of customs George Barris bought the Spider, promising to rebuild it. When the mangled frame was found to be beyond recovery, Barris chose to capitalize on the car's notoriety. The Porsche was loaned to the Los Angeles chapter of the National Safety Council, and from 1957 to 1959, it went on a gruesome tour of car shows, movie theaters, and bowling alleys. In March of 1959, while in storage in Fresno, the car mysteriously caught fire. It suffered remarkably little damage. Two melted tires and some singed paint, and fortunately the fire didn't spread to other vehicles in the storage. Meanwhile, Barris had sold a pair of tires from the 550 and both reportedly blew at the same time, causing the new owner to career off the road. There are other unconfirmed stories of Little Bastard's post-accident life. The car is said to have fallen from its display while on show in Sacramento, breaking the hip of a bystander. The spider also reportedly fell on and killed George Barkis, the driver who transported it to a road safety expo. Finally, the Porsche is rumored to have disappeared from a sealed boxcar in 1960 while en route from Miami to Los Angeles. Some believe that Barris, ever the showman, fabricated the story as a way of keeping the car's mystique alive. Despite a $1 million reward for information being offered in 2005, Little Bastard's whereabouts remain unknown. With Barris himself gone and no sign of the car for 60 years, the end of Little Bastard's haunting story may never be revealed. That being said, like I said in the previous episode, the Haunted Museum managed to get their hands on a part of Little Bastard. So if you want to see it, go to the Haunted Museum in Vegas. But that is my segment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like I had a lot to make up for the past two segments that I've done that have been very gruesome.
I enjoyed it because I didn't know that his body looked like that when they discovered him and everything.
Yeah, it was bad because I remember, like I mentioned in previous episode, like I read a book of James Dean back in high school.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it, you know, but I think because I was young and I hadn't really been introduced to like true crime as much as I am now. And I remember reading it, but couldn't picture it, you know, to where now it's like, fuck, like the face was unrecognizable and he was all twisted up into the steering wheel. Like that's just, I don't know.
Well, that and like our minds are more innocent back then, so we don't really think about that stuff. But like once we're older, we're like, oh shit.
We're exposed to a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on from my segments, we're gonna go to the final segment, which I am super excited for. We're gonna do a tarot card reading for Taylor.
Wait. Before you do the reading, have you guys heard of Lilydale in New York?
No.
It's actually a really spiritual spot. A coworker told me about it yesterday. He said he used to go when he was younger, when he lived up there, and it's full of psychics and people like that. It's like the number one top spiritual spot.
Ooh.
And he says that when he used to go, he'd get like chills and the heebie-jeebies and all that. So you guys have to look it up now.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look that up. So we're gonna start off with Izzy's reading. So I had them focus really hard on what Taylor needed to hear. And so the first card was the Two of Wands. So you have a kind of fork in the road where you have two different paths that you could be making. And you feel the need to leave or like travel. And so you're trying to figure out a bunch of stuff between and like to avoid that decision. And so this is the time for you to collaborate with others and just really like focus instead of trying to avoid a situation by traveling.
Okay. I like that. That's pretty much accurate with what I'm going through.
I love when the things are accurate. So the second card is the Ace of Cups reversed, and you're not in the mood for socializing or meeting new people. So you are having like a loss of faith right now. And so you need to not let yourself be consumed by all of these negative emotions. And you need to look inwards to yourself in order to trust your intuition and give yourself the love that you need.
Aww.
So not Izzy calling you out.
Izzy knows me so well and she's never even talked or met me.
I know, right? So Remy wants you to know a message that comes through justice. You understand that actions have a reaction. And so in order to stay aligned with your higher self, you'll need to kind of bring attention and make up your mind in order to take action. So that way you can have a positive reaction. So you understand also that decisions are fair in areas that you're making decisions in right now. So you kind of have like a balance in that if you just let
Yeah.
yourself.
All those cards seem very accurate to what I'm like figuring out. I'm actually looking at different locations to transfer to with work, and I've been debating whether or not which ones to do. So I feel like that's like the fork in the road that I'm trying to figure out. Well, with Izzy's, and then with Remy's too, it's like the actions and the reactions. I have to figure out the best way to like say something or say to my bosses now like, hey, I'm thinking about this or I want to go here. But then I'm thinking about the reaction that they're gonna say to me. So it makes me really anxious to even do that because I think more of the reactions when I'm saying something or doing something.
So it's really funny that you say that because Remy has a solution for you in her last card.
Oh, what is it?
So her last card comes through the full reversed, and the card means that you need to be cautious of not holding back because of chaos or recklessness. And so you need to be worried about all of these things and not hold back just because of other situations. So, like you were saying, that you're worried about what people are thinking or how they're going to react, and you
Mm-hmm.
should not focus on that because that's what's holding you back.
I see that. Yeah, I agree. I like overanalyze and I get anxious and like, well, if I say it, what if they say this or they're gonna do that? And I'm like, nah, maybe I just shouldn't do it. Maybe I should just stay.
I
So I
literally
totally
got
get it.
chills when you said that because I was like looking at the card and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is telling her exactly not to fucking do it.
That's great. I appreciate Izzy and Remy with their cards, and they don't even know me.
I feel like Izzy and Remy are being like super nice to everybody else, but they really called me and Veronica out.
I want to
Well,
redo.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would too if I had to pick Veronica's cards. I feel
like it's just not
Yeah.
fair.
because you guys call me out quite often, um, especially with the Aries reading that my friend Maddie and I had. So yeah, I feel like you guys deserve to get called out too.
Oh yeah, we get called out all the time, even off recording. Like we'll do like impromptu card readings and we'll just be like, well fuck you too then.
And that's what I'm excited about because when I was in Gatlinburg, I bought, or my friend Ronnie, she bought me a cat tarot card deck. So they're all kitty cats.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. So now I have to like, learn how to read them and stuff like that so I can start doing it too.
When we were talking with Z, we were talking about having tarot cards, and like Veronica would have a Pedro Pascal tarot deck. I would have
Mm-hmm.
a Scream franchise. What would yours be?
You were fucking talking to me about that. Thank you very much.
Was I talking? We were talking to you when we were
Through a
talking.
text message?
I
Oh
think we talked to
shit.
both of them about it because we did talk to Z also on the
Okay.
Okay,
podcast.
so I'm not
Because
fucking tripping. Oh my god, I just had like a whole panic attack. Like
because
what
I
the
was
fuck?
like,
I was
because
questioning the whole
because
existence.
I texted y'all about that one before I got the cards, and then that's when you guys were like, "Oh, get a Pedro Pascal deck, get a Scream," and then I said, "Yeah," or like a Jason Voorhees deck, and then
Yeah,
Veronica
that's
was like,
right.
"Not me, no, not knowing who Jason Voorhees is," and I
Yeah.
was, "Yes,
Okay, I totally forgot about that, and then as soon as you said it, I was like, remembered. But no, I
yeah,
we totally talked about it with Z too. So
okay."
I was like so confused. I was like,
I was
wait,
like, "Is
did
this
I
bitch literally
imagine
confusing Z and
that?
I right now?"
I was like, did I fucking make that up in my head? Anyways, moving on. We're gonna go to your past life spell now.
Okay.
Your
Spell
past life
reading.
spell, yeah.
Jesus.
I haven't done a spell since our biology class, but okay, let's do it.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a spell soon then. It's way overdue.
Yeah, and I can't have one that's like cheating on the test because I don't have tests anymore.
Well, there's like pregnancy tests and like
Low key, I have major baby fever right now. So
really,
Kidding.
I'm like quite the opposite.
5 or 6 of my friends out here are pregnant,
Wow.
and so I have
So that's
I
funny.
have baby fever. It's a thing.
Oh yeah, I know it's a thing.
Okay, past life.
All right. So your past life reading is a 4 card reading. Card 1 represents who you were in your past life. Card 2 is what life was like for you. Card 3 was your occupation. And card 4 represents the loves of your life, like plural, like loves.
Ooh.
So card 1 comes through the Wheel of Fortune. and this is who you were in your past life. And you were going through a difficult time, but good luck and good fortune were the result of that. So knowing that you were able to like move on and continue, knowing that change was coming and that your life was going to be normal in the end.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of like who you were then. Because if you were going through all that, like,
Someone who probably worked really hard to get where they're at.
mm-hmm.
Like now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you learned nothing from your past life.
Well,
Apparently.
dude, Taylor's still young as fuck. Like,
Are you
feel
kidding
like...
me? You literally told everyone the weekend for my birthday I was fucking 35.
Well,
We
you
would
are. That's
joke.
so
We
young.
were
You aged me
joking.
by like 7 years. Which means you aged yourself as well 7 years.
No, I don't count into that conversation. But they do say that you tend to like obviously like come back and kind of finish off what your past self couldn't finish.
Yeah.
I mean, I think your past life was able to like get through whatever, your past self went through, and through hard work came success. So I don't know. I feel like you could do it before, you could do it now. I feel like that should kind of be like motivation. Like, all right, well, I'm not going through all of this bullshit for nothing.
Yeah,
I
like
did it once, I can do it again.
there's an outcome to it, yeah. And
Mhm.
hopefully this time it doesn't take as long.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So card 2 is what life was like for you, and this comes through the Ace of Swords. So your life was all about experience and breaking through the moment. So you had a lot of ideas and ways of thinking that were outside of the box. And so you were attracting not only success, but like victory and security. And so
Girl, hell yeah.
you were always ready to grab new opportunities because you were focused and made rational
Mm-hmm.
decisions.
Hell, she said, like repeating that shit. Yup.
It's all
That's what
coming back to me
happened.
now.
It's all coming back. So maybe you needed to like channel your past self in order to like help you with your present self. Because like it was talking about like decision making and how you had
Yeah.
like a clear head.
Yeah,
I
we're
feel like this is a
nowadays.
perfect reading to hear right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
But given what I'm like debating on with like career stuff and that, yeah.
So speaking of your career, card 3 was your occupation, and this comes
Ooh.
through the King of Swords.
Oh my God, you were a chef.
So you had a lot of self-discipline, and it's also okay, so the properties of the King of Swords, like all the different elements of it, are really applied in like law enforcement, advisors, even judges and attorneys. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very
Ooh.
possible that that's what you were in the past life, just because you had ethics and integrity and you thought rationally, so you were able to see situations from not only both sides but from an unbiased perspective to tell like what exactly happened.
Mm-hmm. Which is also funny because when in high school, a friend of ours and myself, we used to be like in the police explorers and stuff like that, going through the cadets and everything together. So it's funny that with my past life, I could have been in law enforcement when I was doing that in high school.
So maybe it was like your past life like playing a role, and then your present life you were like, I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah. I didn't like getting screamed at.
Mm.
Made me mad because I wanted to scream back.
So your last card, card 4, is the loves of your life. And I love the fact that it like the reading itself put it as plural, meaning
Mm-hmm.
that you had multiple love interests. And this comes through the 3 of Pentacles. So you were very collaborative because you wanted to achieve your dreams. And so you knew that this required different kinds of expertise and skills. And so, because you worked hard to overcome challenges in your life and your effort paid off, it's also that your love interests kind of played a role in your development.
That's interesting.
So
Especially,
basically, so basically, you used men to your advantage.
I
Oh.
love it.
Well, I guess I don't want to assume. It could have been women too. I don't know.
I love it. Uh, Because I mean, not that I use guys all the time at work to get what I want, because they're naive and they do whatever a girl tells them to do. But yeah, it's also what happens at the same time.
Not Taylor being a dominant in the workplace.
Workplace, yes. Bedroom, no.
Same.
What are you talking about? I thought you were the mommy.
Dude, stop talking. Go. She's looking at my computer and she's like, what the fuck? Why is that moving?
Children.
It's because Veronica and I are on a Google Doc and Veronica was typing and she was like, what?
Ah.
She's like, you're not even touching the computer.
It's called magic, kid.
Right.
Speaking of magic, when you're talking about your Harry Potter stuff,
Yeah.
I actually got a PS5 recently so I could play Harry Potter. It's amazing.
Is it? Okay. Because I've been like debating getting the Harry Potter games for my Nintendo and
I would get it. It definitely, you can sign into your Hogwarts account or your Harry Potter account.
Are you
so
serious?
It connects to your house and your wand.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I did that, of course, Team Slytherin here. And
Same.
then when you learn all the spells in that, and then you actually learn the unforgivable curses. It may just be because I'm a Slytherin, but it's really fucking cool when you do them.
Now I'm even more excited. Did you guys hear that HBO bought the rights from Warner Brothers to do a TV series for Harry
and
Potter?
They're doing 7 seasons.
Yes.
And each book is a season. Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Also, in the game, I have heard, don't know if it's fully true, that when you are like Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, there's different quests that you do if you compare to being a Slytherin or a Gryffindor. And you're able to go to Azkaban, like fly over Azkaban. So now, after I finish Slytherin, I feel like I have to go back and then play all 3 other houses to see if there's any differences.
See, that's the thing I love about games is like you can just like play it from different perspectives.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited about the TV series only because I don't know if you remember this, Taylor. We went and saw Deathly Hallows 2 together with like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I do not talk during fucking movies. And I was so pissed at the movie that I was just like, that didn't fucking happen. Where the fuck happened to this? Where is this? They left it out. And you're just like, dude, shut up. And I'm like, I'm so angry.
Because we saw that with like the Annabelle and everyone, didn't we?
Yeah, there was like a whole big group of us. Yeah, I was so pissed. That was like almost like even in Breaking Dawn Part 2 where they had the fight scene that wasn't in the book.
Oh yeah.
I was ready to walk out. I was more angry at Harry Potter than I was at that.
My mom said she's very happy that I got out of my Twilight phase because she hated that phase. And she
I know.
And she watched all the movies because of the phase.
I know. I can't believe, like, watching them now, I'm just like, how could I fucking like that?
One time when I went home to visit her, I found them and I put them on TV and I did the same thing. I was like, why did I love this so much? This is terrible.
Yeah, it's so, and then like I was like, now that I have children, the scene where Edward is like, I like to watch you sleep. Like I used to be like, oh my god, like that is so hot. And now I'm like, dude, if that happened to my fucking kids, I'd kill somebody. Like, that's fucking creepy.
I'd be the same way, yeah. Although I was always Team Jacob, not Edward. And I'll be Team Jacob till the day I die.
I was always Team Jasper. Like,
yes,
I love Jasper.
You and Z loved Jasper too.
But now that I'm older, like I still like Jasper. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, hello, Carlisle and Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very attractive too, but there's something about Jacob.
Veronica's
especially
so quiet.
She probably doesn't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, I love this so much. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
That's almost as bad as like Stephanie and I when we go on about the Jonas Brothers.
Oh my god, did you hear Waffle House?
No, I haven't heard it yet. But did
Oh
you
my
hear that
God.
they're doing a concert in New York with all of
Yes.
their albums? I
Yes.
want to go so bad. Like
Yes.
that was one of my mom was always like, it's just a phase. It's not a phase.
It's not a phase.
I
It's a
still remember.
lifestyle.
Yeah, I still remember all the fucking lyrics to
I
all their
hate you
songs.
guys.
Like, we love you too.
I just loved that in middle school and that Xanabelle also loved the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, I'm gonna call her out. She loved them too. And I would go over to her house every day after school in 7th and 8th grade, and we would listen to the Jonas Brothers all the time. But then if she would never let people know that because it wasn't cool.
See, Stephanie
It
and I
wasn't
were
her
out.
theme. Oh, I was too, but it didn't fit
Annabelle
her.
was a
Didn't fit her
closeted Jonas
aesthetic.
Brothers fan.
But we listened to them all the time, and I watched their day drinking show or their episode with Seth Cohen, I believe, or not Seth Cohen. I don't remember. Seth Meyers, and that is hilarious. So if you haven't seen that on YouTube, type up "day drinking with the Jonas Brothers," and it's amazing.
I'll have to look that up.
I may have seen it at least 5 times.
Veronica, you still with us?
Unfortunately, yes. I'm having flashbacks to you guys fucking being Jonas Brothers fanatics and me just sitting there in my emo phase like ill.
And you know what's so funny is
It wasn't a phase either, emo.
Yeah, I was the phase that you were in when I was a Jonas Brothers fan. I feel like I was in that phase when you were in your wrestling fan.
Same.
Yeah,
Same
right?
here. Because that's when Stephanie, you and I were.
Yeah, it was like a complete 180.
Like I remember when you came to visit one time and we were at my house and you were like cutting our hair, like razoring our hair and that. Yeah.
Do you remember when we were taking Black Veil Brides makeup pictures in Stephanie's house and then her mom scared us with a fucking cloud in the window?
Yes. She uploaded the photo and she was like, "What is this?" And we're like, "What's what?" And then she zoomed in on it and all I remember is Chelsea screaming bloody murder.
Veronica, did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like her fucking mom and her stepdad were just giggling like little schoolgirls, and the three of us are having legit panic attacks.
I just remember Chelsea scream, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I'm so surprised the cops didn't get called that night because I screamed bloody murder. I was like, "Oh hell no!"
I still have those pictures too. I think they're on my Facebook.
They're not on my Facebook. They're on my hard drive. I definitely still have those though.
Yeah, I see them. I'm like, oh my god, what did we do?
I know, it was so bad. So anyways, thanks for joining us this week, Ghosties.
Clearly, Chelsea and Taylor have a lot of catch up to do.
Like we text each other like once a month, but we haven't talked to each other in like years.
It's been a long time. But I'm terrible at it too though. Like I'm terrible at keeping in touch and reaching out.
Dude, same.
You know? I do the same thing. I feel like I do the same thing with Veronica. Her and I just like text each other randomly at moments. Just
I feel like, but that's how it was with me and Chelsea too. Like before we started this podcast, like dude, we went fucking months without talking and we'll just randomly hit each other up.
Yeah.
And then I would just randomly call her and then we decided to do the podcast and now I can't get rid of this bitch, you know?
Well, I feel like with the podcast I've talked to Chelsea more because of it.
Yeah.
Especially when you guys mixed up Brittany and Christina.
Our podcast bringing us together.
This white girl was really upset that you guys mixed them up.
Yeah, I was laughing because I had literally just told Veronica, I was like, that wasn't right. And then you're over here like, bitch. Yeah. And for Ghosties, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to season 1 and just re-listen.
Skip the first episode though, please. God, please skip the
first episode was great. What's wrong with the first episode?
It's so bad.
Cringe.
That was your first episode ever.
I know, but it's like it's as cringy as our Jonas Brothers stage, and like no, not even that.
Why is that a cringy stage?
Dude, you ever see my room?
Why is the Jonas Brothers
I had so
cringy
many
stage.
posters, you
I
couldn't see
love
my
it.
wall. You couldn't even see my ceiling. I had so many fucking posters of them. Like, that's a little bit cringe.
I don't see the problem with that because I had them on my wall, and Taylor Lautner and
And your
Zac
ceiling?
Efron.
And your ceiling?
That's
Yeah,
too high up.
I had my ceiling.
I
So
still don't think that's cringy. I just think it's weird though that you also have gone through that phase and love them, and seeing us in high school where you're like Fallen in Reverse and all those bands.
and
It's just
Asking
weird.
Alexandria.
Yeah,
And yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's just weird to think that Chelsea was part of the Joe Bro stage.
And you know what's so funny is my playlist fucking whiplash because it'll be like a hardcore screamo song 1 second, and then the next second it'll be fucking like a Hannah Montana song, and then it'll go
Yeah.
back to screamo or rock, and then it'll go to the Jonas Brothers, and people are like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Same. My playlist at work is like that. Like I have country in it, and then you'll hear like Sleeping with Sirens or something, and
Yeah.
or they remember and they're screaming, and then the next song is like the Jonas Brothers burning up and shit. And
I
they look
even
at me and they're
had
like, "What's wrong with you?"
I
And I'm
even
like,
had
"I
a
just like
Disney song too. It's
yeah, it's like
crazy.
just like genres, just like music,
Right.
right, Veronica?"
Yeah.
She's like, "You fucking white girls."
I'm sorry, Veronica, that not all of us watched a video of Jeff Hardy back in the day swimming in the air.
Oh no, it's okay.
I love you guys.
I
That
love you
I love
counts.
too.
you.
See, I'm
Before
being
you
nice to you.
before you say the finale, can you thank our special guest for being with us?
Yeah, well, duh.
It was nice to finally be on here.
Yeah, I know. It only took.
Thank.
It only took. Don't feel bad though. I mean, we haven't had Stephanie on. There's a couple people we want to have on too.
I feel like Stephanie, Zanabel, and I in one episode
I
would be
told
crazy.
Veronica we have to do that, but
Yeah,
we decided. Didn't we say video chat would probably be better?
yeah,
Well, just because of the audio stuff and we don't have
Yeah,
like professional equipment, or else
yeah.
that would have been great.
yeah. That would be great because of all the stuff that Z and I used to do to Stephanie, and all that. It'll be great.
If we can all get to California at the same time and just down and just leave the fucking phone recording and just like and talk.
I'm not posting that. What the flip, dude? The things I say when I'm drunk are not to be published.
Dude, it'd be like a 10-hour episode. There would be no editing. It'd be just straight raw footage.
Girl, we could just do a live stream on like
Xanabel would be screaming at Stephanie because I just remember a time when Xanabel and I tried to teach Stephanie how to play Legends of Zelda, and she had to jump over a path, and she kept falling in the crack every time. And Xanabel sitting in the chair like rocking back and forth, getting so mad at her, and she eventually yelled at her, grabbed the controller, and just started playing herself and gave up on Stephanie.
I don't remember what game I was playing. My cousin tried to teach me how to play, and I actually got really good. But my first time, he's like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And then as I'm in the middle of it, I get killed by a fucking cow. And he was he's like, did that really just happen? And I was like, yep.
Death by cows.
He was like, you haven't even been playing for 2 minutes. I was like, dude, I can't believe that just fucking happened. Like, I wasn't even trying to like do anything with it, and I accidentally hit it, and it attacked me. And I was like, oh.
That's something Stephanie would have done, and Xanabel would have gone off on her.
Oh, what game was that?
Oh, poor Stephanie. I don't get why she put up with Z and I so much back then.
Yeah, we were all.
I feel so bad for the things we would do to her.
We were all little bitches.
Except for Veronica,
not
she
us
was the big
admitting
bitch.
that we were bullies to each other.
Veronica was a bully.
All of us were.
I am a bully. The fuck?
We're all bullies, but Veronica was like top
the
bully.
queen. Veronica was the queen bully.
I'm not even in any of these stories. How can you guys call me a bully?
Because while we were listening to music and having our emo phase, you were fucking watching WWE.
Hell yeah, dude. Catch me walking out of a movie early as fuck in the beginning of it to go.
I
watch
was
my
there
man
for
Jeff.
that Star Trek.
Yeah, see, it happened.
Yeah.
It was literally like the beginning where the mom's
And it
about to
wasn't-
die.
I feel like it wasn't one time. I feel like it was twice, or it was supposed to be twice. Or I remember you took me to see one of the Fast and Furious movies that came out because you're obsessed with them, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go with you. And I was so surprised that you sat through the whole thing because of wrestling that night.
I was probably getting out of that phase, low key, like slowly.
Just like how I remember you were obsessed with Roman Reigns, and I was like, ugh, whatever.
Oh, he's so
And
fun. And now
then-
you're over here like drooling over him.
Oh yeah, and then with my ex, I was like, he is hot. I love him. And my ex has actually met him and talked to him, and I'm so mad that he's told me this story, that he knows him by name and gives him a hug and a handshake and all that, and I'm like, you bitch.
He knows what he was doing. It's
You
like one of you guys
bitch.
telling me you guys met Pedro and you guys are like buddies, and it's
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
go
if
way
I'd be able to
back.
talk to you. Yeah.
We go way back.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us this week, Ghosties, and we hope you enjoyed this special episode with Taylor. We are super excited to have her on. I'm gonna hate editing this episode. But if you had as much fun as we did, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram or TikTok, and don't forget to like this episode on YouTube and subscribe. Also subscribe on Spotify. If you want a tarot card reading, please DM us. We'll choose one lucky person a week. And if you don't tell us what tarot card reading you want, my kids are gonna call you out. So we are your hosts. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Veronica.
And I'm Taylor.
And I'm not a host, so that's why I say anything.
You're
I'm
a
gonna
special
guess
host
Taylor.
today.
Yeah, you are today.
Okay, and I'm Taylor.
Have a spooky weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.